as Magneto once said,
"Welcome to die."
Very funny, Paul.
Or rather, welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down the top 10 video games where you die at the end.
Oh my god! They killed him!
For this list, we looked at games where the protagonist spends the credits in the afterlife.
All I remember is what I have lost.
We tried to avoid characters who may be alive according to the game's sequel, and characters whose deaths are questionable. We're looking at you, Kratos. Just a heads up, this list is full of super duper spoilers and all around sad feels, so proceed with caution. Number 10, L.A. Noire. With a game that uses film noir elements, it's no surprise that everything ends on a sad note.
We're gathered here to honor Detective Cole Phelps.
You play as Cole Phelps, a former Marine turned LAPD officer. As Phelps, you move through the ranks of the police department. That is, until you have an affair, ruin your reputation, and get demoted.
What were you thinking? What about our children? Can you imagine what this has been like for them?
Don't worry, the final case will surely redeem your character, except for the part where you die in a violent rush of water.
Jump, Cole! Jump for it!
At least you get honored at your funeral?
Who never lost his faith in the LAPD and the system.
Fine. You belittle his memory.
Number 9, Mass Effect 3.
Joker, listen. We have to go.
How to Piss Fans Off, a Mass Effect novella. Everyone knows about the outrage over the ending to this trilogy, so much so that an extended cut had to be released to make things right.
The war is over, and the Reapers are helping to rebuild.
All that aside, the 3 endings of BioWare's grand sci-fi adventure still end with the death of lead character Commander Shepard, unless you pick a certain ending and have a high enough EMS rating in the extended cut. Still, canonically speaking, Shepard is donezo, but he sure did have a good run, saving the galaxy and all.
Tell me another story about the Shepherd.
It's getting late, but okay.
Number 8, Slender, the 8 Pages. What are these pages? Why are you collecting them? Why are you in the woods? Approximately none of these questions are answered as you pray that your flashlight doesn't die. But that's why creepy, blank-faced Men in Black made sequels, right? Before Slender, The Arrival came to be, gamers were brought on this quest where, even if you get all 8 pages and beat the game, Slender Man still shows up. So what was the point? To scare the pants off you. Duh. Number 7, Persona 3.
No, don't go! What is he doing?
Nothing like spending your school year going to class, making friends, killing shadows, and sacrificing your life to prevent the end of days.
And then, at long last, I will rule over the new world.
But that's exactly what this silent protagonist does. Even sadder, as you play the later titles in the Persona franchise, you're reminded about this tragic turn of events.
My dear sister, do you think I can save that person?
However, there is a non-canon ending where you and your friends forget everything and enjoy a relaxing life until the final countdown. You can either die protecting everyone or die singing karaoke. It's up to you.
Thank you.
Number 6, BioShock Infinite.
Thousands of doors. Opening all at once.
We think the BioShock franchise has something against letting its protagonist live. We lose lead protagonist Booker DeWitt in this game, and the female lead Elizabeth dies in the expansion Burial at Sea. And let's not forget Subject Delta in BioShock 2. While the main character death BioShock,
you will always be with me now, Father.
However, Booker's demise is particularly memorable, since it's for the greater good, as he is both protagonist and antagonist.
And be born again in the blood of the Lamb.
Gotta love those alternate realities that allow for endless loops of misery until you let yourself be drowned. Good times. Number 5, Shadow of the Colossus. There are tragedies, and then there's this. You have to take out 16 colossi to revive a girl named Mono. Or at least that's what the disembodied entity, Dorman, tells you. Don't worry, he's completely trustworthy. He's just making plans to possess you at the end of your quest. In the end, you're possessed by Dorman, killed by a lord named Emmon and his men, and consumed by a whirlwind of light. The kicker? Mono wakes up afterwards. Looks like Romeo and Juliet got off easy. Number 4, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII.
Modulating phase.
There's not a Final Fantasy fan out there who doesn't know Cloud Strife. As such, all the fans know about Zack Fair, the guy who gave Cloud that iconic Buster Sword. And boy did he go out fighting.
Come and get it!
Someone at Square Enix must have thought, let's have a game where Zack's the main character, and to see his life flash before his eyes, we can get even more attached to him before he dies.
Brings about where my country like you've been there.
You know,
Honor me, I've never seen you say that. If only I was joined my battle.
nothing else out there.
Right, because we all handled Aerith's death so well. Thanks, Square Enix. Number 3, Halo Reach.
For you had already passed the torch, and because of you, we found Halo.
The heroic sacrifice certainly isn't a new trope. However, this game was a bit cruel with it.
This is the Pillar of Autumn. We're away.
Your character, Noble Six, stays behind on the planet Reach to make sure that the Pillar of Autumn leaves safely. This is what starts the events of the original Halo, which is where we thought the game would end. Unless you're playing Legendary, you get to play through that suicide mission with one objective: survive. Spoiler alert, you don't. Oh, and this is after the credits roll. We're supposed to relax after the credits, not die. Number 2, The Walking Dead, Season 1.
No, that's not, no.
You didn't think that this game was gonna end on a high note, did ya? As Lee Everett, you meet a young girl named Clementine after the walkers attack.
You need to be quiet.
You two form a bond, and, well, you know what kind of list this is, right? In the end, you have a choice in regards to Lee's heartbreaking ending. You can either have Clementine leave him be, which means he'll become a walker, or you can have her kill him.
And now, you... Please.
We're beginning to think that Kleenex goes hand in hand with bullets these days. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
He is dead.
And a great warrior will be born, one that will lead our people out of darkness and show them the way to the promised land.
Can you hear them? They are calling to us. It's beautiful.
Number 1, Red Dead Redemption.
Get out of here. Go find a place to hide.
Speaking of Kleenex and bullets, that could have been the title for the number 1 on our list. The government promises John Marston that he can see his family again if he kills 16 Colossi. I mean, if he kills his old gang. Sorry, we're getting our tragedies mixed up.
That's a paradox, John.
Marston does as he's told, and sees his family again, and is promptly shot down by the government. Afterwards, control switches to your wife and son, where you ride back to see the bloody aftermath. At least your son gets some sweet, sweet revenge in the very end. Do you agree with our list?
What the hell were you thinking?
Is there a protagonist's death that we should have unburied?
Are you sure this is what you want?
For more tragic and not so tragic top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.